I am Superman. Just kidding, I'm just a kid in Superman. Did you know that I've only played Superman about 2 or 3 times because this costume down below is a bit tight? Welcome to a documentary that won't be short, will be more interesting this time. Well, we'll see how that goes. Now, do you know what the Justice League is? Well, if not, the Justice League has been around for quite a while. They've had their own animated films, some terrible films. They've been in segments in different universes of different TV shows, of like the Batman, references within the Batman Arkham games, and so much more. But now this year, the Justice League film is finally going to be coming out this November, and it's part 1. Yeah, part 2 is set to come out next year within Avengers Infinity War also. So today we're going to go down, let's say 4, not 4 from Marvel, 4 of the characters that are in this Justice League film. We will be. So I guess let's start this out. So what is the Justice League? Well, the Justice League, well, it's been formed by many people. Sometimes people say the group was well, I guess, formed by John Jones, and then Superman, and the Batman. But in this Justice League film, it was formed by the Batman, aka Bruce Wayne. And that's who the Justice League is. The Justice League, the original Justice League, had Superman, John Jones, Green Lantern, the Batman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, and this other person I can't remember. But it has got changed for every now and then. And then for some groups of the Justice League, Cyborg is there. We have no idea if this is the same Cyborg from Teen Titans, but I guess now it is, considering that Injustice did something with it once. But yeah, the Justice League is about saving people, doing what they usually do. And now let's get into the first character, which is, and I want to say the good for first, Batman. You know, I have played the Batman so many times, I have. And with the short film that's still in production to this day, the Batman is a very badass character. Yeah, he has no superpowers, but he's intelligent, he's rich, and he has a fighting style that's unimaginable. He can beat certain people, he could beat Superman, he's a good character. I would say one of my favourites. So, who is the Batman? Well, his origin story has also got explained in different films, animated or not animated, but in the Gotham Fox series, I feel like it gets explained quite well then. We know that Bruce Wayne had, basically, his parents died from either a robber, sometimes saying it's the Joker, but now they're saying it's Joe Chill for Gotham. Now, are they still looking for this guy? Well, the thing is, Bruce, I feel like you should just give up by now. Like, leave it for a couple of years, come back when you're Batman, and then do the whole thing of looking for Joe Chill. But his origin story is that after his parents died, Alfred Pennyworth looked after him. That's kind of true, because he's a bit of a dickhead, but he's looking after him. Whilst in this Gotham show, Bruce Wayne gets to also meet another popular character, which becomes more popular down in the Batman universe, Selina Kyle, or who we all like to call her, Catwoman. Yeah, that's her. we get to see them in their child ages, and this is kind of like the beginning. Like, I know that in season 1 we found the Batcave we did, we found this new villain called Fish Moona, who also died within season 1, and then also crossing over to season 2 we find some even more people like the Scarecrow we do, and also a first phase of the Joker, and then season 2 is good, but then when we're going on to season 3 and season 4, this is when things are starting to really pick up, because this is when Bruce Wayne is starting to train and wants to learn how to fight. So of course Alfred teaches him, kind of like one of the best ones, and I know that now in season 4, well, Bruce is kind of living the first phase of being the Dark Knight. Not almost, he's not Batman just yet, but this is just the first phase. Because please note that by this young actor's star, he is still young within this universe as of, well, he doesn't really become the Batman until he gets to his adult 2030s, if you understand what I'm saying. So that's who Batman is from the young Bruce Wayne. But then we also know that of course we've got films and we've got different animated stuff, but the Batman Arkham series really picks this up well. Starting off with Batman Arkham Origins. Now I will go over this quickly because I've said this 100 times already, that I'll leave some videos down below when I do actually talk about Batman Arkham. Right, okay, so Batman Arkham Origins was a game that was made, but this was not the first Arkham game. Oh, no. Basically, it was Arkham Asylum, City, Origins, then Night. But Arkham Origins needed to be that this was the first year of the Batman being the Batman, and the main villains being Black Mask, shit, and also the Joker. Batman eventually finds the Joker and defeats him, but also there are different things that you need to do in Gotham. You can glide around, you can have some fun, beat people up, and it's kind of like the same crap nemesis from Arkham City. And yet there are some references for Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and also some other Batman stuff, but not just Batman, like other stuff that has to do with the Justice League also. And also some hints of what the future may hold for the Batman. This Batman was voiced by Woke Craig Smith, and he has voiced Batman since Batman Arkham Origins, so I guess that's all good. And then moving on to Batman Arkham Asylum. Now, Arkham Asylum is a game where, yeah, I know, we'll turn to Arkham, but that's the same game. Arkham Asylum is a game where they pick up after the DLC in the middle. Yeah, I'm not talking about the DLC right now, okay? It picks up where the DLC and everything else has been since Arkham Origins, and Arkham Asylum is that Batman stops the Joker from burning down a house with people in it and then brings them to Arkham Asylum. But unfortunately, it's not as easy as that, because the Joker escaped and now is running free around Arkham. Now, to find him, you have to create stuff, destroy stuff, fight bosses, and so much more. But this was the first Batman Arkham game to lead it to be a big success for Rocksteady, the people who don't really make the Arkham games anymore. But for this one, this was one of the really good ones. For 2009, like, you also get to play as the Joker. Since the story mode's done, in the challenge mode, you get to play as the Joker, and my favourite part is the gun. Moving on to Arkham City, where they're picking up from Arkham Asylum. Now we're picking up the tracks again. Arkham City is where Bruce Wayne is attending a press conference, and then to shut down Arkham City, before that does not work, Hugo Strange and his little bag of idiots kidnaps him and throws him into Arkham City. But what they don't know is that, of course, Bruce Wayne's always going to be prepared, because he gets to be the Batman. At the start of the game, we get to find out that Hugo Strange is behind all this, and we know he's bad. And we also know that the mayor from the Arkham Asylum is also behind this and doesn't really give a shit about anyone else. So, what we do is we fight, we glide, there are some new things, so you get to play as Catwoman in certain episodes via DLC, and much, much more. By the end of the game, the Joker dies, you defeat Clayface, and it's kind of like a happy but also sad ending. But did you know that if you play as Catwoman, an alternate ending is available, but to be honest, that will make no sense. You can either choose to either go and save Batman, or go the other way and go out of Arkham. If you do that, then basically Bruce Wayne, Alfred, Nightwing, Robin, Barbara, the GCPD, and every single hero that you probably knew from the Batman Arkham universe is dead. It is. Basically, the Joker never died, and Hugo Strange never really got stopped, so you'll be a dickhead for going through that ending. So really, in fact, if you go through that ending, you get to a message from Barbara, and it all turns around and then it goes back. But to be honest, that makes sense. If the Batman was going to die one day, I know that Superman and Green Lantern. Arkham Knight was basically a year within, or maybe even more, from what happened in Arkham City to right now. Now, Arkham Knight was the last official game that Rocksteady would ever make that had you playing with the controller. After that, it would be VR, but I'll talk about that after. Arkham Knight is a very big place. It is. In fact, the whole of Gotham is actually there. And there are more references, and even Lex Luthor makes a voice appearance in a voicemail thing on the phone. So the main enemy is not the Joker. Like, he's there kind of like a bit of a sidekick to you, talking at your consciousness. But the main villains are Scarecrow and also Arkham Knight. And I would say the Riddler, because he's as big as anyone else in this game. So, in this one, so many new things were introduced, but the main story mode is that you get to play as Batman, of course, but when you get to do the certain missions, you get to play as Nightwing or even Robin. There's so much more. Now, spoiler, Arkham Knight is basically Jason Todd, who died a couple of years ago, and now he's here. But I feel like we already knew that because he was Red Hood, he was. And then the Scarecrow got defeated, but Bruce Wayne's identity is out there that he is the Batman. So unfortunately, he had no choice to clear up Gotham City, make sure all the criminals are away for good, and then kill himself in a big explosion that people are still deeming that he is alive. But unfortunately, no Arkham game was released within this year, and no word of an Arkham game may get released next year, because all the evidence that they were going to be creating a new Arkham game has been denied, has been deconfirmed. Every single bit has been deconfirmed. I'm sorry to say that, but I just want to let you know I did report about that on my Ali's Games channel 1 month ago. So yeah. So then what else is after that for the Batman? Well, the Batman Arkham VR is like a holder between Arkham City and Arkham Knight, where you search through a mission, but this mission is in Bruce's head. It's not real at all. Because, like, of course, Nightwing dies and Robin dies, but it's not real. It's just to burst your bubble. From the footage, it looks really good. I liked it how Rocksteady kept up the art style from Arkham Knight, but yet again, it's still sad that we haven't got anything else from them, and this Superman game has been deconfirmed also. So, what else do I have to say about the Batman? Well, the Batman is still going strong. Now, I know in the comics and in other films and stuff, when he gets older, he eventually dies, he does. Or somehow he dies by something else. But the Batman will always go along. Like, he's been around for over 75 years, and that's just amazing. So now let's move on to the next character, which is, and this will be a bit shorter than the other ones, the Flash.
Rod, you lost weight.
Prepare for your demise.
Nope, Just your sense of humor.
The Flash is a character that was created like a couple of years ago within the same as the Batman. The Flash will name Barry Allen. Now, some people also know the Flash as Wally West, but I mainly know him as Barry Allen. Now, the Flash, his main backstory of the Flash is explained within the CW series The Flash. The Flash is a character, aka Barry Allen, who saw his mother died when he was very, very young, and who killed the mother? The Reverse Flash. Now, after that, he tried to get back to his own timeline, the Reverse Flash, but unfortunately he could not. He was stuck in that timeline he was, and unfortunately he just couldn't, and he had to stay. He did, which I guess wasn't too good. Now, Barry Allen went through a lot of things during that time as a child. He switched. His father was arrested, and then he got to live with Joe West, who also had a daughter called Iris West. Now, I've seen Iris West in many other characters that had to be deemed white, but this time she was black. And to be honest, I got confused when I saw Iris West in like, I don't know, in like another Flash thing that she was white and then this is black. I honestly feel like she's better when she's black. But so, and after all those years, after when the Flash became the Flash, one of the sad things that he wants to do is find out who killed his mother. He does find out about that, in deeming that a lot of things has happened, but I don't think you want to hear that. You want to hear stuff about Savitar, you do. Well, Savitar, oh my word, that was like the biggest thing that was within the Flash series. That was literally so enormous that event was big. It was. Now, unfortunately, I cannot show any footage from the Flash CW. I'll just show the logo, maybe some pictures, but if I show any footage, then this documentary will get struck down. So Savitar was defeated, and will identity a future version of Barry Allen. And now within this season, things are starting to pick up of where Savitar left. Of course, we don't think Barry Allen will turn into Savitar, but stuff that Savitar said is going to happen. Now, has the Flash been in any video games? Well, I'm not going to go on for too much about that. The fan games, in fact, are stronger than the actual games. He's been in Lego games which have a separate storyline and none of it's canon, and with the Will stuff, well, the Will stuff, it's strong within the Batman Arkham universe, but it's also strong within Injustice and Mortal Kombat vs DC universe. In fact, I don't think we need to talk about that. But let's say in the Injustice 1 and 2, he's demons bad, he is. Because there's a different universe where Lois Lane died and Superman went crazy and couldn't control his power and was not deemed a hero anymore. Was deemed as psychopath, evil, pathetic, waste for human space. And he basically killed a lot of people, including human innocents' lives, and became controlling, a bit like Hitler or Kim Jong-un. Now, the Flash was good for one of the games, which was the first game, and then he came back to be good within the second one. Now, you had two choices within Injustice 2. You could either defeat... the first choice was, the good ending was that you defeated Superman, he went off. The second one was that you didn't defeat Superman, and he became as he was before, and now there's no hope for humanity. And then the white ending is actually the good ending when he went back off. Please do not tell me that the bad ending is the good ending. That's fucked up, that is, and you're fucked up. So, that's all I've really got, because guess what? The Flash is not that big for video games, because I could just talk about shit ones instead of good ones. Wonder Woman.
Mr. President, it's nice to finally meet you. I am Diana, but you may call me
Wonder Woman.
Thank goodness.
The Wonder Woman, aka Diana, had her own film, and I feel like this film explains that origin story quite well. Many people are saying that this is the best DC film to date, which, to be honest, yeah, it's good, but I still think Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman was also good. Now, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was born in a place where no men existed. In fact, there was only women, and she was the only child within where she lived. Now, she was raised in a different way. Raised that one day she may be a fighter, but her mother didn't wanted her to be a fighter. Eventually that has to happen because she goes with this other person from man's world, which is deemed as bad, and this guy was the only good guy, and he came from there to warn Diana, and then they went over to London. They do they actually call it London? And it's in the war, it is. Now they end up facing off people during the war, and also at the very, very end, it's basically they end up facing what do we call it? That big Ares guy, yeah, him. They end up facing him off, and he's the one who's been causing quite a lot of the problems. So, and plus we did see him at the start of the film that he was a good person, he was. Eventually Wonder Woman defeats him, but unfortunately the guy in the sky dies and doesn't really make it out alive. Now, within the Wonder Woman film, even though Batman's not there, his presence is still there, as of Bruce Wayne and also Batman stuff do appear in this game. As of Wayne Enterprises are also in this film. This is not a game, Adam. Now, Wonder Woman, we came back in Batman v Superman. Now, we don't know that the whole presence of how these two films are connected, but one of the things that we do know is that she knew that this was happening, and then when it did happen, she eventually did meet Batman and Superman. Now, what if I was going to say to you that Batman v Superman came first, and then the Wonder Woman film came next? How crazy would that be? But in the storyline of how they met, that the first part of the Wonder Woman film came first, and then Batman v Superman, and then the rest of that film came after that. Now, was she in any video games? Well, unfortunately, like The Flash, yeah, she was in the Lego games and also the Batman Arkham games, but the strongest bit is actually the Injustice games. Now, in both games she is bad. Now, we do have a good version in Injustice 1, but in Injustice 2 she is a bad person. She's killed many. She's raising Supergirl, who also sees the good, and by the end she's just good. Wonder Woman is a good character. Now, we have just talked about Batman, we've talked about The Flash, we've talked about Wonder Woman. Let's talk about someone that doesn't get enough limelight, Aquaman.
Comes from the sea. Arthur Curry, also known as the Aquaman.
I could say many jokes about him. I could say that Wayne Heager made a parody trailer of Aquaman. Aquaman is a character that lives underseas and has his own kingdom to protect. We don't really know that much about him, or I don't. But I can't remember if he ever got reference in the Arkham games. But origin stories, well, the origin stories lies in that he is the king of the seas, he is, and then one day he did join the Justice League for the other films. Now, yeah, again, unfortunately, yeah, he is in the Lego games, but his strongest area again is in the Injustice games. Now, we have one Aquaman in Injustice 1, two of them, one of them's bad, one of them's good. The second one, he is deemed as both. He is half good and half bad, he is, because he really wants to protect his own kingdom, he does. And, well, he's a bit of a he's a bit of a dickhead, he is. But there is an Aquaman film coming out within the next couple of years. Hopefully the date should be up, so I can't remember at the moment. Aquaman, I don't know much about you. I'm sorry. People have said that, oh hey, this is going to be a complete whip-off of the Avengers films. Well, to be honest, Justice League and Avengers are different. They have different characters they do. They have different storylines. And this is something that I've been waiting for quite a while. I'm mainly to see this film for Batman, I am. But I also want to see how the other characters are, like the Flash. Or what that other guy was at the end of the latest Justice League trailer. Is that Superman? Or is it Supergirl? Or is it Green Lantern? Some of you guys have been suggesting. Who is it? But also, I mean, you may have a question, why does it need a part 2? Well, part 2 I hope will happen. Because, well, we did hear that the director Sack, I'm just going to call him by Sack, stopped directing the film halfway through, and because of some family issues of someone that died. So is there a chance that DC may just give up part 2 or may not? It's by chance that it could happen. But yeah, again, one of the things that you need to realise is that if part 2 doesn't happen, then we do have some just other DC films coming along. Like for instance, we've got the Flash one, we've got another Green Lantern one, we've got Cyborg, we've got Aquaman. In fact, here's some of the lists and any videos I could find about future DC films from basically now until whenever. I hope you're clear or been informed about what the Justice League is. It's a group that likes to save people, but in other universes, other worlds, they're deemed as bad and they kill people. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you want to go and see the Justice League film, then go ahead, check it out. I'll leave some links so you're able to buy some tickets prior from the UK. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. Please note that there will only be this coming out within November, and then next month you'll get a bit more with a documentary and a short film. Sorry for the one big project thing.